All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good day. I am your host, Louis George Walker, and you're now listening to the BFTAA and More show, coming to you from KUAW Radio, located in the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center at 4510 East Linwood Boulevard and in Kansas City, Missouri. So, yeah, we're just glad to have you on here. I'd like to say that you're listening to a project that was produced by the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center and the Black Family Technology Awareness Association of Kansas City. And they brought this radio together, called it Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, KUAW for short. So you're listening to KUAW, and you may be listening on your cell phone. You could be listening on the airways. We're actually going out on 100.5 through a partnership with KOJH, Kansas City's original jazz house, or its oldest jazz house, located in the 18th and Vine Historic District. So we're broadcasting on 100.5 over that. So if you're in your car or getting ready to leave out of the house and get in your car, go to 100.5 and you can pick us up on that. It is a low-power FM radio station, and we're looking to do big things with it in this coming year. Also, we're going to be doing some things, or we are doing things. You can listen to us like you're doing right now on Facebook and on YouTube, on Twitch. And as soon as I share it over, we'll be on Twitter where you can pick us up. So let me do that right now so we can get that signal going out on the Twitter feed. Okay, let's see. So right now you will be able All right, and we will post it now. So if you go to Twitter right now, you can pick up the BFTAA and More show with George Walker on your, go to KUAW Radio, KUAW Space Radio on Twitter, and you can pick us up there also. So we're broadcasting live on a lot of ways, and we're also broadcasting audio only on the internet as an internet radio station. You can go to the Get Me Radio site, Tune In Radio, online radio box, mytuner.com, or Radio Garden. All of those you can pick us up on. And you can also find those links on our webpage at www.kuaw.org. So those are all the things, all the ways that you can listen to us, and we're glad to be coming to you in all those different formats so that everyone gets a chance to get us. We're on the radio worldwide. Yeah, so you can pick us up in Bangkok, you can pick us up in Bangor, Maine, you can pick us up in L.A., which is either in Louisiana or Los Angeles. Excuse me. But we're so glad to be here with you. And that is the main thing, is that we've got a chance to share some of the news and information that we've been bringing to you, the listener, for more than 5 years, going on 6 years now, or better, that we've been broadcasting this. So we're so glad that you're here. And we're going to get ready to bring up one of our new features. We're going to bring you a little bit of news. So let me see if I can get that going. This is from the Urban Network news station. If I can find it here. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Just a second. We got to start labeling things a little different. That's not it. Got it here. Here we go. All right. So here's the day installment from UNN, Urban Network News.
This is UNN, Urban Network News. I'm Alexander Caden, and here's a few things happening in the news. South Africa's government announced it will challenge the auctioning of dozens of artifacts belonging to Nelson Mandela, saying the items are of historical significance and should remain in the country. The 75 artifacts belonging to Mandela, the country's first democratically elected president, who spent 27 years in jail for his anti-apartheid struggle against the white minority government, are to go on auction in February in a deal between New York-based auctioneers and some of Mandela's family. Students at HBCU Lincoln University in Missouri are demanding that the white president of the school step down after a beloved black administrator's suicide. Presently, the president has taken a paid leave pending an investigation. A federal judge accepted new Georgia congressional and legislative voting districts that protect Republican partisan advantages and rejected claims that the new maps didn't do enough to help black voters. Members of the Congressional Black Caucus are gearing up for a new year and looking to tackle issues that their constituents value the most. They'll focus on fully funding public schools, dealing with the issue of economic inequality, and uplifting the issue of reparations. Some are wondering which R&B stars will join Usher at the 2024 Super Bowl halftime show. It could be any number of stars, such as Mary J. Blige, Beyonce, Tank, Alicia Keys, Ella Mai, T-Pain, or anybody. The NFL has another black coach. The Las Vegas Raiders named Antonio Pierce to be the full-time head coach after he stepped in as their interim coach at mid-season.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families. And you get a tax deduction. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Here's the number.
800-880-5013. That's 800-880-5013.
You've been listening to UNN. For more national news and information for and about people of color, visit our website at myunn.net.
All right. So that was the Urban Network news coming to you. It was an interesting bit there about Lincoln University president. I didn't know about this. I'm going to have to check the news out during one of the shows that I'm showing you, or maybe by tomorrow, and find out that the students are asking for the president to resign after the suicide of a faculty member at Lincoln University. That's not too many miles from here, about 100 miles, a little better than 100 miles from Kansas City. So we definitely want to check into that and find out what the story is and if there's any, I don't know what's going on. So we don't want to start any rumors, but we do want to find out why the students are asking for the president of the university to resign after this suicide. So that is some interesting news that we need to make sure that we get an understanding on. But yeah, you are joining us, and we are glad to have you here. I've got to check out and see how my sound is going out over the web. It's always good to kind of make sure that we are putting out a good product for you. So I'm going to pull this up on one of our radio links myself and check it out, so we'll be able to verify what we have happening, because I don't know if anybody's trying to get in touch with me about it, but it's always good to double check, because sometimes we think we're broadcasting and we're really not. So we want to do that at this time. But yeah, we want to look into that. That news broadcast, the UNN News, is a new one that we've got, and we're going to be using it throughout this year as long as we possibly can to make sure that we give you some national news and news going on all around the world. Okay, so that has something different going out on it. That is interesting. Let me see what my show is doing here. All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, you guys are getting some from us now. Yeah, it's always interesting to make sure of what's going out over the web there, because part of that was telling you, if you were listening to it on the radio side, you were actually hearing a little more of another show. Okay, so we're going good right now. That is what we want. All right. So we're going to get on with our show here. And for those that were on KOJH, if you heard 2 broadcasts going on, we have that cleared up at this time. Now we're going to move into one of the shows that we always do. We bring you what's going on at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. And we want to run that to you again from NASA. This is This Week at NASA.
The latest private astronaut mission to the International Space Station, preparing to launch more research to the space station, and how climate change is affecting our oceans and atmosphere. A few of the stories to tell you about this week at NASA. On January 18th, Axiom Mission 3, the third private astronaut mission to the International Space Station, launched aboard a SpaceX Dragon spacecraft from our Kennedy Space Center. The mission is commanded by former NASA astronaut Michael Lopez Alegria. NASA will provide integrated operations support, which starts during the Dragon's approach to the station, continues while the crew is aboard the orbiting laboratory, and concludes when Dragon leaves the area of the space station. The research heading to the International Space Station on Northrop Grumman's 20th Commercial Resupply Services mission to the space station for NASA includes the first surgical robot on the station, an inexpensive orbit re-entry platform to collect thermal protection systems data, and a new metal 3D printer. Northrop Grumman's Cygnus spacecraft will launch atop a SpaceX Falcon 9 no earlier than January 29th from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Our Plankton Aerosol Cloud Ocean Ecosystem, or PACE mission, is targeted for launch no earlier than February 6th. The Earth Observing Science mission will help us understand how our oceans and atmosphere exchange carbon dioxide, measure key atmospheric variables associated with air quality in Earth's warming climate, and monitor ocean health. We resumed a critical test series with our RS-25 rocket engine on January 17th at our Stennis Space Center. Data from the testing will be used to certify production of new RS-25 engines to help power our Space Launch System, or SLS rocket, on future Artemis missions to the moon and beyond, beginning with Artemis 5. That's what's up this week at NASA. For more about what else we're up to, check out nasa.gov.
All right. So that's what's going on this week at NASA. It was always good to check that out. We're glad that we were able to get it to you. Yeah, we're not being able to get our chat overlay up so that I can see what you're chatting or sending to me on the web, and right now, just the last couple of weeks, we've had trouble with that. But we're going to keep on moving ahead. Hey, I was looking up some information on AI, and you guys may want to check this out if you've been experimenting and playing with it, or if you want to. There's a lot of free AI. Well, I won't say a lot. I know of a couple of free AI access points. One is from OpenAI. They've got a basic program that's free. The other one's from Google called Bard, B-A-R-D. Both of those will let you do things with AI so that you can learn. The artificial intelligence is what we're talking about. You've been hearing about it, that it can answer questions, that it can write papers, it can do a lot of different things. But if you want to investigate it for yourself and see what AI is and what it can do, look at Microsoft's Internet Explorer, not Internet Explorer, the Microsoft Edge. If you have that now, there's an AI program in there, Copilot, that's on everybody that has Microsoft Edge. You've got it. If you're a business, you don't have it, but if you're just an individual user, you've got that, and you can start checking out AI and see the benefits or what you don't like about it. But it's out there for you to try to test to see how it runs and how it works. I also used it to get some pictures. I had it create some logos, some signs for KUAW Radio. I'll have them up on our next show. You may have seen them on a couple of shows. I've used it on the intro to some of the shows that we have. And that's a good thing, that we need to see this new technology because it's going to be in everything. It's just like talking machine to machine, but it's interfacing between machines, humans, other machines. It's doing a lot, and it's not right now something to be scared of. I mean, we do need to have guardrails up. There needs to be protections and stuff. I heard while I was on the way in here on NPR that there were some robocalls that went out in New Hampshire where they're getting ready to have the presidential primaries, and they were using the voice of Joe Biden, telling people that they shouldn't go out and vote on Tuesday. And it sounded like Joe Biden, but that it was artificial intelligence. So that's something that's going to come up. If you get a phone call, if you get calls and things seem to be somebody that you know, but they're talking really different stuff, you need to check it out. Don't take it firsthand that that's that person. These robocalls come out, they want you to listen to them, but you don't get to talk back or ask any questions or get any clarity or even to check to see if it's real. So I'd be real leery of listening to robocalls or getting information and passing it on to other people that you just heard on a robocall. Because in this election cycle, AI is going to be used, artificial intelligence, cloning of people's voices, all of that is going to be out there and stuff. All the dirty tricks, because I mean, it happens every election. Whatever anybody can do, or not anybody, but the people that have nefarious motives and want to send out misinformation or confuse people and things like that, they've got another tool they can use that will sound like, they can make it sound like something, they can make it sound like you, they can make it sound like a friend of yours, they can make it sound like Barack Obama, President Biden, Donald Trump, any of those voices, and they can maybe be saying some outlandish things. There was a president of one of the universities now that they're looking at because there were some calls people got of the president talking about black students and the teaching philosophies of the teachers and all of this stuff, but it wasn't the president of the university. Okay, so that's the thing that we have to look at now, is that things are going to be coming out, and you won't even know if what you're hearing, even though it sounds like that person, or what you're seeing, even though it looks like that person, it may not be. It may be a computer-generated image. So I'm trying to experiment with that to learn a little bit about it. So you may see me on here, and it'd be a computer-generated image, just to see how these things work. But it's something to be on guard for, because don't want to get tricked. And one of the best things you can do is always try and corroborate any other information that you got, before you repeat it, with 2 or 3 sources. Find out if that's true. Go out on the web and look for yourself. Did they say this, or is there a controversy about that? That's the thing you can do, or you can ask AI about it. If there's a AI voice out there, I mean, there's things that you need to check out before you hear it, before you see it on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, and repeat it to other people. Make sure that you're repeating the right thing, that it is truthful information that you are giving out. Because, yeah, there are lies that come in great disguises. There always has been, there probably always will be. So you have to be extra vigilant on these things right now. So we're going to go back now to NASA. There's another information about what's going on in space, and that's what's happening with our International Space Station that is circling the Earth in a low Earth orbit right now. And we want you to check it out. So this is a NASA broadcast called Space to Ground. So let's check out Space to Ground now.
Welcome to Space to Ground. I'm Shaniqua Vereen. This week we take a look at a successful launch of the Axiom 3 mission to the International Space Station. Also, the latest plant investigation is underway. This time, we learned how plants defend themselves in space. On Thursday, January 18th, the Axiom 3 crew launched on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The 4-person crew will join the Expedition 70 crew for a roughly 2-week mission to conduct research aboard the International Space Station. The quartet includes Axiom 3 mission commander and former NASA astronaut Michael Lopez Alegria, mission specialist Walter Villaday, who also flew aboard Virgin Galactic's Galactic 01 suborbital spaceflight as Virtute 1 mission commander last summer, Turkey's first astronaut Alper Cezaraji, and European Space Agency astronaut reserve member Marcus Want. Plants defending themselves? Is it Attack of the Killer Plants? Let's take a look aboard the station at the science that continues to push boundaries. Plants on Earth and in space must defend themselves from diseases. Plant Habitat 06 investigates the physiological and genetic responses to defense activation and immune system function in tomatoes during spaceflight. Genetic sequencing and analysis indicate the adaptive response of plants rather than the initial defensive response. A better understanding of how microgravity affects plant immune function is needed to support plant growth and food production on future space missions. To learn more about the research and more, head over to ISS_research. On Thursday, January 25th, NASA, SpaceX, and Roscosmos leadership will discuss the upcoming flights of Crew 8 and NASA astronaut Tracy Dyson at 1 p.m. Eastern. Afterward, the crew members themselves will discuss their upcoming missions, science objectives, and plans while aboard the International Space Station at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Check out nasa.gov/live or NASA Plus for ways to watch. And that's Space to Ground for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
All right. That was Space to Ground. Always good information that you're picking up there. The Black Family Technology Awareness Association is about closing the STEM divide that exists between the African American community and the broader sections of the world that are making that move into the digital age, that are African American communities and other communities of color or underrepresented people, usually the people that have less funds, and it's not all black or brown, there's white included in there too, but miss out on a lot of the advances and things that are going on. Sometimes because they're just not aware, sometimes it's due to economic reasons. So getting a cell phone or getting a computer in the house, getting internet access can sometimes be a thing that isn't done or isn't easy to accomplish. So that's what we're about, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. We have robotics teams, we have a drone club that kids can get into. We are trying to establish even more programs to get young people and families. So if you want to learn basic computing, if you want to learn how to use a computer yourself, this you want to do that now, regardless of your age. You're never too old to learn something new that can benefit you, your family, and future generations. So learning about this technology, like I'm talking about this artificial intelligence, that's what I mean when I say AI, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, all of those things that are happening, that are coming, that are technological. We don't have to run from them. We don't have to be scared of them. We just have to know about them and how to use them to our benefit. So just like learning how to drive was something you wanted to do because you could see the advantage, you need to see the advantages of having a STEM education or being at least digitally literate. And that's very important in this day and age. So that's what we're about doing. And if you'd like to help us, if you'd like to come in and find out even more or learn more, contact us. You can give us a call at 816-599-6893. The number that's going across the top of the screen, 816-599-6893. Give us a call, leave us a message. We'd be glad to talk with you about the benefits of technology and how you can get involved either as a learner or to help others to learn about it. So we want to have you work with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, be a part of what we're doing. And with that being said, I'd like to let you know that on January the 30th, we're going to be a part of STEM Night. Yes, at the Hickman Mills 8th grade center. Hickman Mills, I can say that. Hickman Mills 8th grade center that's in, South Kansas City. They're having a STEM night, science, technology, engineer, art, and mathematics. So it's really a STEAM night. Some people look at STEAM because they bring the art into it. That's okay. We'll let them sneak that on in there. Sometimes you'll see communications or other things. But science, technology, engineering, mathematics is the essence of STEM. And there's going to be an event, for, especially if you have a student, if you're a parent in the Hickman Mills area that's either in the 8th grade or that they're going to have a parent-teachers meeting at 6:30 to 7 o'clock, a little short meeting, a parent meeting. I won't say parent-teacher meeting, a parent meeting from 6:30 to 7 o'clock where they'll talk to the parents about it. But the doors are open at 5:30 and go till 7:30, and that's going to be Tuesday, January the 30th. And that's at the Hickman Mills 8th grade center. They didn't have the address up here. I'll have to pull that up on a email. Let's see if I can get the address where this is happening. I don't think it's a national secret of where this is going to be. So let's see what we've got for Hickman Mills. But we'll be out there. So if you'd like to, and if you have a student out there, we definitely want to see you, want to meet you. So come out, let us know that you heard about us, but about the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, and that you just wanted to see what we're about. So we're going to be out there in the public to meet and greet and work with you. See if I'm trying to see right now if we've got the address. Yes, the 8th grade center is located at 11115 Bennington Street in Kansas City, Missouri. So that's 11115 Bennington Street, Kansas City, Missouri, the Hickman Mills Middle School 8th grade center. So we're going to be out there. The doors open at 5:30. It goes from 5:30 to 7. So, yeah, hour and a half, couple of hours should be a good time, good enough time for everybody to get acquainted. We'd love to meet you. Parents, stop by our booth. Stop by the BFTAA booth. We want to talk to you and see how it is we can maybe interact with your young people and get them involved in technology. So that's something we would love to do, and we're going to be out there. We're even going to donate a prize or two to the school so they'll have to give away. So these are things that we'll make available while we're out there. So there's going to be prizes. There's going to be interactive exhibits, which we have. an interactive exhibit, so your kids will be able to see and touch what we have out there and stuff. And then there'll be hands-on science learning. So there's a lot of fun for the whole family, and I got something for mom and dad. Y'all can come out and check it out too. So be sure and check this out. This is January the 30th, STEM night at the Hickman Mills 8th grade center, 11115 Bennington Street, Kansas City, Missouri. The Hickman Mills 8th grade center STEAM night, and this is a family engagement event. So we definitely want to see you out there. We'll be glad to get to meet you and stuff. Thank you so very much. And thanks to Principal Ann Hawks for reaching out to us and inviting us to come out there to interact with the parents. We're glad to be out there. We also have one of the KUAW family who will be a part of this, Mr. Tyrone Gathers. He's actually part of the faculty at the Hickman Mills 8th grade center. So we're just people out of the community that are actually part of this. This is an all-volunteer organization. We're not doing this for money. We're not doing it for fortune or fame or anything like that. It's just to help and give back in the community. I have been blessed, and it's like, yeah, I want to share what you can do with technology, how it can help you, how it helped my family, how it continues to help our family. So if you want to get involved in technology, stop by the table for the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. We will be out at STEM night, January the 30th at the Hickman Mills 8th grade center. All right? Thank you so very, very much. That's some of our latest news we have for you. Another thing, I don't know that I've seen it around, but we'll get back to you about the drop that's out. I'm pretty sure that those cards are being passed out around the city. So I won't bring that up till I talk with Tyrone and Terrence, some of the people involved in it, to see what's going on, how it's going, and if there's anything that the KUAW Black Family Technology Awareness Association family can do to help and to keep that project growing. Also, I'd like for you to go to Esteem Village. Esteem Village is down on Truman Road, about 16th, 17th, and Paseo. They have a thing called STEM City that is actually online that's been doing real good. There's interactivity. You can get a character. You can go to a lot of exhibits. KUAW is a part of STEM City, Kansas City. We have a space there, a booth there, where we're showing our shows. Some of these shows that we're doing right now are being broadcast over STEM City, Kansas City. So if you get a chance, please go and check that out. That's, you just want to see KUAW anywhere you can. And we're trying to be everywhere we can. Another thing that came up in the news as we want to talk about family and children and stuff, there's a proposed child tax credit expansion that would lift 500,000 children out of poverty by 2025. So when they did the tax credit for children, when they expanded that for COVID, they found that a lot of families, which a lot of children in families, because you can't lift a child out if you don't lift the whole family out of poverty, but that made a difference in the standard of living for a lot of children. So that's something that Congress is considering now. It's considering an expansion of the federal child tax credit, a measure that could lift as many as 500,000 children from the poverty line. So now that they did it, and that's something that kind of comes off of the pandemic, because the pandemic made them start that, but now it seems to be some more that they're finding out about it that can be beneficial to us all the way around. So Congress is considering an expansion of the federal tax credit, and the bipartisan proposal for the expansion would increase the maximum credit per child to $2,000 from $1,600. So that's not a bad thing. You see, the measure would also eliminate a provision that largely penalized lower income households with more than one child. As it stands, the child tax credit benefits middle and higher earning families, excluding those who need it most. So this is great news for families. Yes, the child tax credit is one of the most transformative pieces of legislation that we have seen in the last few years, and in 2021, it lifted millions of kids out of poverty. And that's from Alien Arezna, Executive Director of Parents Together Action. That's what they told Yahoo Finance. This bipartisan agreement is a step in the right direction. She also added that there are still some kids who are excluded because their families don't earn enough income, which seems quite frankly backwards. But however, 80% of the 19 million children who are either getting a partial credit or none at all are being included. So that's huge progress. So they're going to be allowing a little more tax credit for parents that are working parents but are still living in poverty, which just seems to be really weird that people are putting in the work, but you can't make enough to get you out of poverty. And it's it's a following the child check credit and other COVID relief measures. So this would mark the beginning of much-needed reversal of the sharp rise in child poverty that occurred in 2022, following the expiration of the child tax credit and other COVID relief measures. And that's from the Congressional or CBPP. Under the proposal, half of the 16 million children who would benefit from the tax credit within the first year live in families that would gain $630 or more. So that's not bad. Nearly 40% of children who would benefit would see their households gain $1,000 more, or approximately 25% of children are in the family that would see a gain of more than $1,400 within the first year. The gains would be significant for low-income families with more than one child, which represents close to 3/4 of children. They would get at least $1,000 more within the first year of the credit expansion. So according to analysts, for a parent with a toddler and second grader earning $15,000, the first year of the expanded child tax credit would increase from $1,875 to $3,600. That's a bump of $1,725 that they would get in a tax credit. It's really encouraging. We know our parents are really excited that this is happening because it is a policy that transforms families' lives, Areza said. We hear over and over again that it's getting harder to raise a family and that parents are really struggling, and these type of benefits make the difference. So there will be a bump in that, and with that, you also have to remember that there's a need in a lot of families for financial literacy. So it's one thing for someone to get a tax credit, to get a bump in income, but without financial literacy, you can end up back in the same condition in a little while. We have to know if we get an extra $1,000 or $3,000, what are you going to do with it? What are some priorities? What is it that can be maybe helped in your credit rating, can help you with education toward being able to earn more money, not only to feed your kids better, which is great, but to lift them out of poverty to where they're not dependent upon a tax credit happening, which may get taken back away at some point. But how do we make it sustainable so that when we receive money, or when you receive some money, that it can be put to a use that can benefit you not just for a day, but for a lifetime. So those are some things that we need to look into, but it's good that Congress is looking at ways that they can help those that are most vulnerable in our community, in our nation, and that's our children. We need to definitely lift up our children and lift up their standards of living. There should be no child living in poverty. But as the Bible says, as Jesus said, the poor will always be among you. That doesn't mean they have to be living destitute. You know, there's the different degrees that you can be in, that you don't have to be out on the streets, but that you could be, not that you're driving a new car and all of that type of stuff, but that you feel safe in your home, that you feel safe, what they say, having food security, having housing security, to know that you're not getting ready to get put out, that the rent is paid, that we'll have food on the table. That's not asking for a whole lot. That is getting the basics. So if they give this tax credit, there should be some financial literacy that is made available to people. I know there are some classes here in town, in the city, and a lot of us need it. It's not just for poor people. There's a lot of us that make money and sometimes don't know exactly how to use it to benefit us the most. So we want to look at that, but it's good that the government is doing that. Now, I want you to take a look at not just getting the tax credit and the money back. I'll get some information on what's going on at Lincoln University, but I'd like for you to do some research in AI, artificial intelligence. See some of the free programs that are out there if you have a computer, and use them, play with them a little bit, and then we can talk about that as we come together next week to find out a little more about what we can do and what's available, and a lot of it free or at sort of free, because if you're going through Google, one of the things that they keep it free is by sending you a bunch of commercials. So they make advertising off of your eyes, you're trading your eyeballs and getting that stuff for the opportunity to use the program for free. So it's nothing's truly free, but it is where you don't have to come out of pocket with anything. So look at that, work with that, and let's see if we can start making some moves in the AI space and creating some things that can maybe benefit not just us and our family, but the community and the world at large, that you can find a way to make income, that you can find a way to educate, to inform people about stuff, but it's an opportunity to use a technology that is new, that is cutting edge, that you can learn and know as much as anybody on the block about it, because it's new and everybody is learning it right now. So that's what we got today. You have been listening to KUAW Radio. This is the BFTAA and More Show. I am your host, Louis George Walker. As we've talked about some of the things going on in the community and some of the things that we are doing, what's going on in space, that's what we do every week on BFTAA and More. So if you'd like to talk to us, give us a call, 816-599-6893. If you'd like to be a guest on this show, if you have something that you're doing in technology, or you have an event or something that's going on in the community that you want to get out, because we do community information also, then get in touch with us. We'd love to talk with you. Also, remind you again about the STEM night that's going to be going on at Hickman Mills 8th Grade Center. BFTAA will be there. We hope that you can come out with the kids and your family and just enjoy a good evening and see what we do and do some hands-on technology. Thank you for listening to the BFTAA and More Show. Please join us again. You're part of history right now, because you are one of the people that are listening as we are in our 20th year of the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. So we're having our 20-year celebration with BFTAA, and it's going on right now. So thank you for joining. Keep listening. We're here every Monday from 5 to 5:45, and also on the first and third Mondays, we're followed by B. Michael with Shifting Paradigms. He's on here every first and third Monday, right after this show at 6 o'clock. He'll start with Shifting Paradigms. So we have shows going on throughout the week. We also broadcast 24 hours a day on our audio side. So check us out. If you like the blues, listen to us on the weekend. If you like Professor Smooth Jazz Thursday, Friday, he's doing a big show. If you like that old school music, we do that every day. If you like some of the talk, we've got BJ Murphy, syndicated national radio personality. The BJ Murphy show is on every day from noon until 3 o'clock with some old school music and a lot of information and banter between BJ and his guests. So be sure and check us out. This is KUAW. We are a media organization in the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center. We're signing off today. We'll check back with you next Monday. Have yourself a wonderful day. It's warming up outside here in Kansas City, so we can enjoy the world a little bit more than that below zero. See you next week.